What's going on? Casuals Fantasy Football Podcast.
Yo.
4 mics, assuming the worst, hoping for the best today. Fire. Full house today. Got Richie in the
Super full.
Richie's in the house.
How's it going, fellas? How you guys doing?
Bo's in the house.
Hey, Daddy. What's up, bro? I wasn't ready.
Ben's in the house.
Bo, your YM percentage is down today.
What happened?
Your YM percentage is down today.
What that is?
Your mother.
Ooh. Did you find your drop yet?
I gave you plenty of time, man.
Damn it.
He's out of there.
How are you doing, kid?
I'm okay. I'm doing all right. I'm tired as shit, but I'm doing all right.
Y'all are trash.
Today we're going to go RB2s, so it's our second running back show. Should be a pretty quick show for you guys, and then we may hit on a couple RB3s that we're not going to go all the way through another RB3 show.
There's a few interesting ones.
Yeah, starting next week, we're going to do wide receivers, and that's going to be probably at least a 3-parter, maybe a 4-parter. I'm not sure.
48 of them hoes?
There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of those guys.
Wide receivers are super deep.
Yeah.
So deep. Oh
Saturday we're gonna cover AFC West.
Yeah.
And other than that,
that's such a good division, by the way. So many good players.
yeah, I mean you got the Chiefs in it. We could talk for a long time
That'll
just
be
with the Chiefs.
75% of that.
No shit.
The Chiefs and Justin Herbert, and then it's just a snooze fest.
Yes. Well, you got Eckler and
Oh, that guy too.
yeah, there's some
Keenan
good
Allen.
players in there.
Jared Cook.
Yeah. As he stares at Richie.
Yeah,
He's worth a third.
If you put a good quarterback on the
On the Chargers?
on the Broncos,
Oh.
a lot
yeah.
of those guys become relevant.
For sure.
Mr. Rodgers.
All right.
Yeah, Sutton's trash.
Super trash.
Let's start this rank bank episode.
Slide it in the rank bank.
God, I miss her.
She's not home. She wanted to get out of here, apparently. All right. I would too.
Looking at you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, Ben, again, if you haven't listened to the other ones, nice one. What we did is we turned off 4 of our individual rankings, and he has an average of how they finish. So,
We
consensus,
accumulated them.
if you will.
Collective.
an accumulation.
Accumulation.
What was the word that Ken was supposed to spell?
I don't know.
There's a bunch of them.
They all have 3 letters.
I refuse. I refuse to spell for you guys.
They all start
I
with
will
C-U-M.
smell by on the other
I
hand.
won a
though.
spelling bee in 3rd grade.
No.
Swear to God.
I bet you don't have a trophy. You have a trophy?
Swear to God. I actually do still have a trophy.
Is-
And I distinctly remember the day,
Is it Mama Kell's house? Does she have it?
for show. I distinctly remember the day going down to the office and calling my mom crying. Oh, my wife!
No way.
Was it right after they took your picture for that football card that you have laying
Same
around?
day.
Is it?
Dude, it might be close. Bruh. I think it was. I think it was the same year.
I
That
remember.
big ass head, all that brain.
I think we just need to give Bo one earpiece to his headphone.
Yeah, my bad, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you this clearly.
Well, if you do that, then you look like a helicopter pilot or something.
like a
cool as
DJ.
Shit. Yeah. All right, Ben. Start off. Where are we at? 13.
Yeah, we left off at 12, which was JT. Moving on to 13, we got...
12 was DeAndre Swift.
That's what I said. Number 13, we got Joe Mixon.
Ooh.
Joe Mixon at 13. All right, Richie. Where did you have Joe Mixon?
13.
Ask me.
Bo, Bo, I was just wondering, where did you have Joe Mixon?
13.
Ben,
That's funny.
I had him at 10.
Ooh.
which
That's called that opportunity.
now I know why he's 13 because I had him at 15.
Literally. Oh my God.
So, Bo, what do you think Joe Mixon's season's going to look like?
It's tough coming off the injury.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's in line for a lot of touches.
Not only is he coming off injury, but his quarterback's coming off injury.
Which benefits
So,
him.
I mean, you would think. I think they got to throw it no matter what. One-legged, two-legged, he's going to be slinging the rock.
I'd say he's in line for probably, if he stays healthy, there's no reason why he doesn't get over 300 touches.
I agree. That's why I have him so high.
Ben, do you think the Bengals shut him down last year on purpose, or do you think he shut himself down on purpose last year?
It's kind of the same situation that Zeke was in on the Cowboys. Like, their offensive line is trash. Didn't have a starting quarterback to spread the field. You can't get much going as a running back, so it's probably a little of both. And Gio, I mean, as much as I hate Gio Bernard, I mean, he did have some impact on that.
Right.
I saw some weird chart that somebody that's way too smart made on Twitter, and like Gio had like the third or fourth highest like yards per touch or something amongst. Obviously, there was a whole bunch of stuff, but
Richie, what's your take on
it's a
him?
lot.
I mean, I've always been high on Mixon, but he's going to come into a lot of touches this year, and it's going to be all come down to how healthy he is, and especially with Joe Burrow coming off an injury like that, they're going to rely on him a lot, whether it's out of the backfield or just running the ball. You know, they got rid of Bernard, so they're going to have Chris Evans, and also Samaje Perine
Perini.
that are going to be his backup. And Perine performed well when he had the opportunity last year when Mixon was out.
Don't forget about that dude Puka.
Puka Williams.
Anyways.
Kansas.
They
Yeah.
like Travion Williams a lot.
Oh yeah, that guy. And they still got old dude from Oklahoma too.
They also
our
drafted
cousin.
Puka, man.
What's his
Boy's a
name?
beast.
What's his name?
Rodney Anderson?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Either way, I agree with Bo that Mixon's going to come. You know, he could have up to 320
50.
carries and 60 to 70 targets, probably even more.
I
It
touches
really-
and that carries.
Yeah, really all depends on how they want to run the offense. But Ken pointed to it. They're going to be down a lot, so they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. And they upgraded a few parts of the line, but I think they're going to live to regret not taking Sewell.
Or Slater or some. I mean,
Some
anybody.
offensive tackle. Yeah.
Hell, they could have took Vera Tucker.
I mean, they had
Carousel.
they
Anyway.
had opportunity to take I think Tevin Jenkins in the second round and traded out of it. So
Why'd they take in the second round?
Jackson Carmen.
Oh,
That's the only guy that
that was
got
a reach.
drafted in the
Yeah,
draft.
super reach.
Yep.
Who's their GM?
Shit, I don't know.
Dave Chappelle. Don't he live in Cincinnati?
He lives in Yellow Springs.
You would know.
I used to drive through it every. Yep, he lives in Yellow Springs, Ohio.
It's good to know. Fun fact of the day, guys. We should start having a fun
Great
fact of
ice
the
cream
day.
in Yellow Springs, by the way.
Oh, I forgot to read my ad.
Yeah, we don't have an ad.
We'll read it at the end.
Okay, we'll practice an ad at the end.
We'll get an halfway intermission. Like 26, slide it in there.
This episode of the Casual Fantasy Football Podcast is brought to you by the new 2022 Hummer. Because who doesn't like a good Hummer? Bruh, what the? All day. We're
But
doing
you
this all day.
you are in charge of ads when we. Maybe,
This episode of the Casual Fantasy Football Podcast is brought to you by Beats by Dre. Don't got a pair of headphones, but I do got a mole on my back that probably a doctor should check out.
I have one of those. I got a huge one
We
on
gotta
my
read
back.
some ads.
All right, where do we got next?
At 14, we have Cam Akers.
Wow. Okay. Richie, where'd you have him?
I was a little high on him. This is the guy that I talked about on the last show that I probably should swap with Eckler at worst, but I had him at 10.
I'm on fire today. I had him at 14. 2 for 2.
Wow.
I had Cam at 18.
Ooh.
okay.
Super
Well,
oof.
I had him in my top 12. I had him at 12. Let's start at Ben.
Super oof.
What 18 is really low.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Cam Akers, and then ever since Todd
Did you hear the nose breathe when he right in the middle of your sentence?
Is that why he's laughing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben doesn't
All
like
All
it.
right, go ahead.
Since Todd Gurley left that team, their run game hasn't really been the same. They got rid of one of the pieces of the trio tandem running back, but even if Cam Akers gets 50 to 100 more touches, I don't see him doing a ton with it. They got a new quarterback there that likes to throw it long, and I don't think he's going to be a beneficial product of that.
Chicks dig the long ball.
They do.
Yeah.
It's fact.
Especially in LA.
Yes. I think once Gurley left there, I think they decided they weren't going to just put all the running on one back anymore.
It did not work well.
Yeah, it didn't work well.
Well, it did for a little bit.
And we covered the NFC West last weekend, and we noticed that their stats are like between him and Darrell Henderson, they're like 1 yard off.
Literally, yeah.
I mean, 2 carries off. The receptions are close to the same. So after I did these rankings before that show, I probably would have dropped him down after seeing those stats.
My rankings would be very different after talking about these guys.
I might have had him higher based off my argument about him. So,
I mean, if they commit to him, he definitely showed the talent at the end of the year to take over. So
with Stafford never having a 1,000-yard back, if he comes out guns blazing in the backfield and has a couple hot games off the rip, I think they're feeding
downhill. It's downhill from there.
Isn't a good downhill.
Yeah. Correct. It's snowball running downhill. At the end of the year, he got the ball. Excuse me.
Every game, every touch,
and he was killing people. Go ahead, Richie. You wanted to say something?
No, I mean I had him at 10, and it all comes down to opportunity. He had the opportunity last year, and he made the most of it. And I do believe that him coming in this year with what I believe is a better quarterback, that offense is going to be humming. Stafford's going to get the ball out.
Like a good hummer.
But it's going to be that offense is just going to flow very well. And if Stafford can open up that passing game, that's only going to be better for Akers. And they are going to involve Henderson for sure, most definitely. But Akers has the opportunity to still get, closer to that 250 rush attempts. And if he can make the most of it, I do believe that he can easily be a top 12 running back, especially if they're throwing him the ball out of the backfield too.
Word.
All right.
Swell explanation, Richard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Who we got in the 15 spot?
On to 15, we got David Montgomery.
Bro, I am on fire.
Did he just copy your your ratings now?
On fire.
All right.
No, I had him at 19.
I was going to say, I'm either drunk or you're drunk.
Ben, where'd you have him?
I have Monty at 16.
Richie?
I had him at 14.
I also had him at 14.
Talk about it, Ken. You talk about it first.
Go first.
You know
I had him at 14.
Take your turn.
I had him at 14 because it's not a sexy pick, but man, he gets
He was
volume.
RB4.
Yeah, he
I was
gets.
going to say, does that at all change your mind?
Damian Williams changed my. I would have had him higher if Damian Williams wouldn't have went there. Honestly, I probably
Even
would have
after
had him.
having a full year off?
What's that?
Damian Williams missed
Yeah.
a full year.
That's not a bad thing for a running back.
Didn't they draft Herbert, too?
Khalil Herbert.
Justin's cousin, brother, sister, cousin?
Yes.
Son?
I probably would have squeezed him into the 12 spot or 11 spot if Damian Williams wouldn't. I think he's going to take some carries. He's still got Cohen there. I don't know what he's going to do this year. It's hard to say. He's coming off a major injury, so I just hate that team.
Major family injury,
Yeah.
too.
Now you got Fields. If Fields ends up starting day one, he's going to take some yards away from Montgomery.
Running.
Yeah, he's going to take some running. He may take some goal line away from him. Some misdirections, things like that. So, I mean, he probably belongs in the 14 to 17 category for me now.
That's fair.
Anybody else?
I mean, if that offense stays the same as it has last few years with Adam Gase calling the plays, they're going to stick to still throwing the ball to the running back.
Who?
I'm sorry. What was it? What's his name?
Matt Nagy.
Yeah, Matt Nagy. I don't know why I was thinking of Adam Gase.
Bruh. I mean, they both suck.
They both suck. But if Matt Nagy's still calling the plays, then they're still going to throw the ball to the running back, whether it's Fields, Andy Dalton, or whoever it is. And Fields proved that he relies on his running backs, and he relied on them in college too. But
Is Matt Nagy related to Chuck?
I had him at 14 as well, just because he proved last year that he can handle a workload and he can be efficient with his carries and his catches and all that. So
You know who else is on fire today? Richie.
All right.
It's very sad the situation that the Bears are in, because I love Justin Fields, I love David Montgomery, and I love Allen Robinson, but you can't love them in
And I love
fantasy
Mooney.
because the Bears are ass.
The Bears are the Bears. They're always going to be the Bears. All right. You got anything to add, Bo, on Monty?
He plays for the Bears.
Okay. All right.
If 15 we had, or I'm sorry, 16 we had J.K. Dobbins.
Wow. Okay.
I have an 18.
Richie, J.K.
You said 16? Yeah, that's where I have him.
Okay.
I have him at 14, and that's a lot lower than I wanted him to be. There's so many people that have to be higher than him.
I'm at 18. Did you say you're at 18, Bo?
What's good, bro?
What's that? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So you were the highest, Ben?
You guys are the same.
No,
No, 10 and 14. Or 10 and 14. No.
14 and 16,
Yeah,
dog.
14. Hold up. Bo distracted me. He winked at me, and then he like blew me a kiss. Anyway.
It's on camera, so.
I'll start on this one. I mean, Gus Edwards is why I have him at 18. I mean, that's pretty simple. I can't break it down any.
The bus.
I mean, Gus Edwards on this list on RB3. I mean, not everybody's handcuffs on this list. So
The reason I wanted him higher is the exact opposite of what you said. Gus was still a factor the last 4 or 5 games of the year, and J.K. Dobbins went absolutely nuts. And I
Gus
think
is
that
the
carries into the next. Huh?
So I thought you were done talking. I apologize. Keep going.
Don't be sorry. Be careful, ho.
Oh!
Touche, dog.
I was just going to finish by saying I think that carries into next year.
So, no, I want you to explain that a little bit. I mean, you think their stats were, what, 7? I think we looked at this, like 760 yards rushing for
720.
J.K.
Oh,
And Gus Edwards had 730, I
Gus
think.
is the 800-yard king, bro.
Yeah. I
Gus
mean,
has had like 720 like 3 years in a row.
yeah, they were only like
Almost the same as
40
Kamara.
yards. So J.K. had to go off at the end of the year just to
He
get
did.
to where Gus Edwards was already. So that tells me that they're going to save somebody, and then at the end they're gonna have fresh legs.
You
I
think
mean, he
Justice
was-
Hill's going to become a thing?
No.
What's that?
You think Justice Hill's going to become a thing?
I mean, he's talented. He's just on that.
He's a little scrappy boy.
Not only that, but he's a special teams
Justice
wizard.
Hill touched the ball 12 times last year.
Yeah, but
Fire.
he's a wizard though on special teams. That's why they keep him around.
I mean, I think they're going to the approach that a lot of the NFL is going to now, which is having 2 backs that can be ultra efficient and be able to do everything out of the backfield. So, I mean, there's no problem with having Gus as an RB3, but with J.K. being at, would you say he's at 16?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good spot because if you get J.K., you're gonna have those weeks that he blows up and he's an RB1, and you're gonna have those weeks to where he scores 8 to 12, and just be a consistent, 12 carries, 70 yards, and maybe he falls into the end zone.
It's for me, it's comparable to the Browns situation. Obviously, it's not nearly to that caliber, but you're really just picking your poison between which one's going to go off that week. And J.K. only played 15 games last year, had 10 less carries than Gus Edwards, and still almost broke 1,000 yards.
He only had 700 yards, didn't he? 800.
J.K. had 805,
Yeah, that's.
but you sat him out to 17 games. You don't think he gets to 1,000?
I think they more compare.
Yeah, but you only have to average 80 yards a game to get to 1,000 now.
I'm just saying I mean, there's a lot of guys in the 10 through 36 range that aren't 1,000-yard rushers, that aren't super PPR threats.
When I look at the Ravens, I look at the Rams. They have the same philosophy. Those 2 running backs are real close. Buffalo's the same way. I mean,
I was going to say they more compare to like Tampa.
I just think J.K. breaking out the way he did at the end of the year is going to hold a little bit more weight than everyone thinks it will.
so why did you have Cam so low?
Cam Akers?
Because it's the same thing.
Because J.K. Dobbins
He's
is
still young, man.
Mhm.
Akers, I think he might still be 21.
Yeah, he was the youngest player, I think, last
I
year.
think he was 20, got drafted.
he's not J.K. Dobbins. Like, J.K. Dobbins looks like an NFL running back.
Good call, Bo.
I don't think Cam Akers does.
I think there's some Buckeye bias going on.
Not at all.
I love me some Dobbins.
He'd be in the top 10 if Buckeye bias was shown.
I'll tell you what, Dobbins is top 5 if he's the only back in the backfield.
He'd be close.
Well, I mean, Philip Lindsay would be top 5 if he was the only back in the backfield.
Touche.
Get off the crap.
Bet.
Uh-oh.
Bet.
Probably
When
would
David
be.
Johnson, I almost made a bad joke.
Okay.
Oh,
It was an old joke.
Okay.
We see where that one's going. Hey, who's number 17? Ben?
17, both my running backs. Josh Jacobs.
Okay. I had Josh Jacobs at 16.
Had him at 15.
He almost has 2 first names.
Almost. The S killed it.
Jakes. Josh Jakes.
He's a plural first name.
Where'd you
I had
have
him at 20.
Okay. Where'd you have him, Bo?
I had him at 21.
Wow. All right.
He's not flashy to me. It could be Gruden's offense, honestly, because I mean I don't know. I just don't like him.
Like I said, a lot of these teams are going to two running backs, and they're relying on two running backs, and that's why they went and got Kenyon Drake.
I think theirs is strictly for pass catching help because Josh Jacobs is not a big PPR guy.
But he should be, and I think that's where they mess up. I mean, that's what he came out of college doing very well, was being able to catch the ball out of the backfield, and they continue to.
Well, no, he had like 40 touches in college. He just balled out on his minimal touches, and
So
I guess they are very, very similar, way more similar than I thought they were. Josh Jacobs had 45 targets last year. Kenyon Drake had 31.
did Josh Jacobs not finish like top or running back 8 last year?
He was running back
I
8.
have no idea.
Yeah, I mean that's
He was the least interesting fantasy player. Like for some reason, he was very little paid attention to.
I mean, I know he got off
Whoa.
like the first 2 games. I mean, I know he had 2 big the first 2 weeks were big.
Too big, what, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? He did score 12 touchdowns, so that definitely helps.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so I think he slept on. I think
Oh, he's very much
Yeah,
so, and I'm going to continue to sleep on him.
yeah, hater. Yeah, I had him at
Super.
16. I had him at 16. I would draft him I wouldn't let him go back.
I think
There's no way.
he'll continue to be a threat in the open field. He'll keep getting the goal line work. Kenyon Drake keep taking them reps at receiver, and I think that's the way it's going to pan out.
Well, if you take out his 2 highest scoring games, I mean, that's 36 points and 30 points.
Where do you think he gets drafted in redraft?
Middle second.
3rd round, maybe?
Oof.
Beginning of 3rd round?
I was thinking 5.
I don't know. Not
How many running backs are going in 3 rounds?
What's that?
There ain't.
I've been doing a lot of mock drafts, and I see a lot of running
Like
backs.
the first 9 out of 10 picks are running backs.
Yeah, the ADPs are heavily valued around carries and
Yeah.
volume, and Josh Jacobs gets a lot of it.
I won't have him this year. That's for sure.
I would say 4 or 5 is a good round to take him, but he's probably going to go late 2, early 3.
I'm doing a slow best ball draft right now, like 8 hours a pick or whatever.
How many
Nice.
teams?
12.
Jacobs is only 23.
Underdog?
Yeah, underdog. I got Jacobs 4-9 in that draft.
I'd take Jacobs at 4-9.
Easily.
I would
If
too.
you-
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's a top 2 or 3 round pick.
Look, if you go 3 rounds, or if you go 4 rounds, and you get 3 running backs and a wide receiver, and you get Jacobs as your 3rd back, that is where Jacobs is going to perform very well for a fantasy team.
He's
Even as an RB2, the upside's there.
he's still only going in his 3rd year.
Yeah.
He's super young.
Make or break season.
Yeah, but he's had 2 good seasons. I mean, I don't even think it's a make or break. He's just not flashy.
He's just not standing out.
Yeah.
But he's producing. In that division, you got to control the ball. You got to keep it out of Mahomes' hands.
I mean,
you got to
he's the
keep it out
main
of
reason.
Herbert's hands.
He's the main reason why they beat the Browns last year.
What were your guys' ranks on him?
I had him
15.
at 18.
I had him at 20.
Or no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at.
JK.
Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, I had him at 16.
You had him at 20? Did you? Okay. Did
Yeah, I
you
would
change
draft
your
him all
rankings
day.
on- Did you change your rankings?
No.
Because you said 14 on Dobbins, but I have him at 13 on yours.
Uh-oh.
Casuals.
That's
No,
one spot difference, right?
That's
But I'm just saying as far as...
that's
'cause
Bo's
I-
OCD kicking
It's
in.
very, my skin is... Yeah, I got JK at 13 and DeAndre Swift at 14.
I have this flipped.
You changed your shit, you're cheating.
I haven't changed anything.
You are cheating.
All right, who's next on the list? What number are we on?
We're on
18. We're
18.
finally legal.
Okay.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Ooh.
All right. I have him at 19.
We're all relatively close on him. I have him at 20.
I had him at 18.
Yeah.
I'm at 16. I had the highest on him.
Would everybody agree a disappointing rookie
No.
season?
I wouldn't say disappointing, but it definitely wasn't great.
I wouldn't say disappointing, but his expectations were...
Our super fan says he's
Sky
disappointed.
Yeah, for him being the first round running back, everyone expected a lot more.
The media blew him up. I think it was unfair I think what you saw from him is what you're going to get his whole career. I don't think he's going to.
So, not to cut you off. CEH, if he doesn't go to the Chiefs, where do you think he's actually drafted in rookie drafts last year?
Like, say he was picked in the same pick, but it was
The Rams.
I think your point is
Top three still?
any of the running backs, if you switch them out, they go to the Chiefs. I think they get blown up.
Yep, 101.
I think he was 3 no matter what. Top 3, I'm saying.
No, I know what I'm saying, but everybody was taking him 101 just because they had
They had him in that
flashbacks.
offense.
They had flashbacks of Kareem Hunt going to that offense.
Yeah,
I still, even going into last year, I still would have went JT 1-1.
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
I didn't have anyone.
I had no shares of CEH other than some best ball and some rinky-dink redrafts, but I really didn't have any share. I just kind of watched from afar. I was not impressed.
I mean, he was going in, first round of redrafts.
He was a top 10 pick last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I wouldn't say no to Clyde on my team because the possibility of him being like a top 12 running back is definitely there. I just don't see it happening on that team.
yeah. If he's in a group of players like that's available, like let's say Jonathan Taylor, Akers,
Swift.
any of those guys,
JK.
Swift, JK.
Gibson,
I'm not drafting CEH.
AJ Dillon.
I'm passing him. You know what I'm saying? I'm passing on him. I'm drafting one of those other guys before I draft him.
So there's something that I like. There's just a few podcasts that do it that I like. I like how they compare. So like CEH or Akers.
Akers.
Yes.
Not going. No, just like personal opinion. Not going off of rankings. Like, well, you can go off your rankings.
Their rankings are based
Individual-
on their situation and how you think
I'd
they'll
still take
finish.
Akers.
Personally, I'd rather have Clyde.
See, that's why it's a good exercise because there's a lot of different opinions.
You
a
ain't
lot of,
exercising shit.
I don't exercise. No. But
Big boy
But
nation.
like this, do you do CEH or do you do DeAndre Swift?
Swift.
This is for Bo. CEH or AG?
None of these are close to me.
CEH or Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
I'm taking Josh Jacobs. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's an exercise that's really
Based
cool.
on last year, I'm taking Josh Jacobs.
So,
That's how I feel. Not that you guys give a shit how I feel.
I really don't.
I know you don't.
I actually do a lot.
Lie. Anyway,
Did we tell where we had Clyde?
I had him at 16, you had him at 20, Richie had him at 18, and Kenneth had him at 19.
yep.
I just didn't know if we went
Unless
to
you
the
changed your rankings again.
Yeah, I had him at 17.
Okay.
All right. Who's next? Who's next on the list?
At 19, we had Miles Sanders.
Ooh.
That's another person I want to like more than I do, man.
hey, Ben, ask me where I had Miles Sanders.
Where'd you have him?
19.
God, you're doing great, Richie.
I had Miles Sanders at 21, reluctantly.
Man, what a drop. He was 6 or 7 last year, maybe.
He was top 10 for sure.
I had him at 17.
There's a lot of good running backs in the NFL right now. A lot.
Yeah. Why do you wish you liked him more than what you do?
Because he's great at everything a running back needs to do.
So good.
He's good in the open field. He can split the tackles. He can catch the ball.
That run against Pittsburgh last year was insane. He turned on the afterburners.
It's kind of like the Bears, but not as severe. I think Miles Sanders' potential for top 10 is way better than David Montgomery's because of the offense he's in, which is why I say I want to like him better, but
I don't think we know what we're going to see from Philadelphia this year.
not at all.
At all.
So that's one of the reasons I had him down. But he just totally underachieved last year as far as fantasy goes.
How many games did he end up playing last year?
12 maybe.
Ooh, Miles?
Yeah, I mean, I'm purely guessing, but I want to say it's somewhere 12 or 13.
Ben's
Where did he finish?
12.
12 games.
That's what
Good guess, bud.
Where did he finish?
I don't know. He was
23.
I got you.
like Statman.
Statman.
24.
Yeah. He was you take away 4 or 5 of those big plays that he had, and he's garbage.
30, 32, 33.
Yeah. So
The other thing that scares me for
Thank you.
Miles Sanders is not only did they draft Kenny Gainwell, who is no joke, they brought on Kerryon Johnson, and Boston Scott is also no joke. So the opportunity is fading
But
away.
the only thing is none of maybe carry on, but none of those guys are stealing carries from him.
No.
Not a lot.
I think
They're turning him from a
How many
three-back
carries
to
do you
two
think Boston Scott had last year?
75.
It's going to be convoluted because Sanders misses a lot of games. So
I think Boston Scott could be a casualty.
what? He's
Do you
coming
think he'd come on the podcast?
Off that.
Boston Scott in the building. Dude, fun fact about Boston Scott.
Oh my gosh! Here we go.
He's related to Michael Scott.
Ooh, that's a good one. Guess what's close to Boston too?
What?
The
This got awkward.
Now I'm off Miles Sanders. I'm off Miles Sanders unless I get him in like the 7th round or 8th round or something.
I'd assume he's
Whoa! You can have him in the 8th round, dog.
Whatever. If he falls to me,
I was just saying Josh Jacobs in the 5th, and
I
like
know.
2 rounds later, bro. Give me
Yeah,
one.
no, Sanders gonna fall into the same category as
It's
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, yeah.
he's best ball for me only. That's the only way I'm drafting him is in best ball.
Yep. I'll take him if he falls to me, 100%.
If he's in the 4th, 5th
Let me
round,
ask you,
definitely.
Miles Sanders or James Robinson?
Miles Sanders.
I still take James Robinson.
I'm just
Not knowing what Travis Etienne
I could
is
give
going
two
to take.
shits about Travis Etienne.
Ben and I made a trade a little bit ago. I mean, there was other pieces, but we
Yeah, I see you put up Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to trade him?
Mm-hmm.
Which you trying to get a running back in return?
No.
I think James Robinson. Well, we're done with James Robinson. He's fallen quite a bit, but I don't think it's because of Etienne. I think
It's 100% because of Etienne.
I still got James Robinson as an RB2.
James Robinson proven he's a every down back in the NFL. He's going to go somewhere and play if it's not
I wouldn't say
Jacksonville.
he's proven.
That won't happen this year, though.
So there's something that I
What do you mean it
see.
won't happen
Proven
this
after
year?
1 year.
I was talking. I think it was Ken I was talking to about it, but James Robinson got in an insane workload last year, and he averaged like 4.4, which isn't bad, but his
It's very good, especially on that
he was
team.
getting 25 carries a game. He was getting 8 to 10 targets a game. I mean, he was getting an insane workload, and he's not going to get that this year.
The only way I remember, like in my mind, just the way my mind works. If I want to know if it's the yards per carry is a good, it'd be like, man, if that was his 40, he'd be slow.
Mm.
That's how for some reason that's how my mind works. It's just like 4.5, 4.6. Oof. Oh, this is yards per carry. Let's go, bro.
No running back should get that workload. They had to draft somebody. I don't care if it's Etienne. I don't care who it is. No running backs in the last.
The team
I don't think that was-
revamped though.
I don't think that was too much of an ask.
Also,
what he did
14
last year?
games, 240 rushes,
How many targets? He had 60.
60.
bro.
That's 300. That's an undrafted free agent. He
Yeah.
got 300 touches in the
That's
NFL.
what you do with those guys. You beat the shit out of them and see if there's any value there.
There
That's
was
exactly what they did.
There was definitely value there.
To your point, if they move him, which I don't think they will, and he goes somewhere else, he's going to shoot up draft boards. But if he stays where he's at, ETN is 100% a factor.
Where do we have? I know he's not going to be in our RB2s, but where do we have James at in our rankings?
He's way well down there. 26. I have him at 26.
He's at 25.
So he's just outside of our RB2.
Mm-hmm.
Where's ETN?
I have
I know this
ETN
is
36.
redraft.
I have ETN 36.
ETN is 28.
So they're very close in there.
I don't think ETN's going to make the splash that everybody thinks he is.
I think, as far as our consensus has, I agree with that. I think Robinson will come out ahead of ETN, but I think they're both going to be even, and it's not going to be a lot.
They're
Laundry.
all right. I'm going to go on record. Robinson 67% of the touches, ETN 33. Just that's what I'm going.
I told Ken last night it's going to be closer to 60-40.
I'd agree with that.
And that's what the number he threw at me was, 67-33. But I mean, they use the capital on ETN. They're going to use them. They're going to utilize them. They're going to,
He's going to catch a lot of balls.
yeah, and that's fine. But in a PPR league, I mean, that's going to be what you want. If you have ETN as a flex, I mean, and if he starts running the ball and he runs the ball effectively, Urban Meyer has no ties to James Robinson.
Yeah, with what you said, draft capital and his relationship with the quarterback they drafted at the 101, he's already got a head start.
But, I mean, I agree with Ken. I mean, James Robinson proved that he can do it last year. So until he proves that he can't continue it, then I would assume that they use him.
Yeah, we got a little off track, but yeah, I mean that's.
Still not a Clemson offense.
Yes.
Yeah, who were we supposed to be going over?
Miles Sanders.
Yeah, but
We went miles off track.
yes, we have miles off
Holy
track.
shit.
I heard he's related to Bernie.
What's next, Ben?
Number 20
great
is
grandpa.
Najee Harris.
Wow.
I have Najee at 24. I'm just inside the.
I got him at 15.
I think that's a fair spot. It's another one of those guys that will probably end up higher.
I got him at 17.
I think he'll, if he's truly the bell cow that everybody, honestly, as a Steeler fan, and my app that checks Steeler stuff, I'm already sick of seeing Najee's the savior, and Najee's this, Najee's that. Already sick of seeing it. And played it down in the NFL. So you got a lot to prove.
I can't wait to hear Ken just glush.
What the hell is glush?
What is that word?
Gloat?
I have no idea where you're
Gloat?
You're saying when he comes out hot and Ken's over here like, let's fucking go.
I don't do.
He
I
ain't
don't
gonna
do
do
that. I don't do that. I don't do that.
But when Des Fitzpatrick comes out and balls out, I'm on your necks. Because I told you guys.
I told you I was going to order a jersey.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, he plays for the Titans? Let's go back and get one.
Harris, I'm telling you, he's going to get an insane workload on that backfield.
I think so too. And the only one of those running backs.
What's
that-
insane?
He's in line for Joe Mixon, like touches.
There's a video that I seen on Twitter earlier today that had the running backs doing
Drills, and he was first in line.
Yeah. And his footwork is insane.
He
For
looked
a
like he
200
had the same shoes on that Benny Snow had. It was a crap camera angle, crab drill.
Yep.
I'm highest on Najee Harris.
I think.
So you don't think that he can get 300 touches?
Nope. He won't get 300 touches. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be like
I mean, even if he gets
240,
250, he's still.
probably be in the 240 range.
So you don't. Okay, so we're gonna make a bet right now.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, no.
Oh god.
You're going to be doing the show in your underwear.
Let's keep. Here we go.
You want to make a bet?
What's your bet?
He gets at least because you're saying he's not gonna get 250, right?
I'm saying it's about 240. 240 carries.
So 240 carries or touches?
Carries. He's just a
Carries.
Okay, he's gonna get 250 carries.
That's too
You want
close.
to make a
Split
bet
in
on
hairs.
10?
You're saying 300 total touches?
Yes.
50
That's
touches.
not targets, that's touches.
What do you want to bet?
Attainable.
$1,000?
You need to.
Let's go, let's go.
$1,000.
I am not betting $1,000. I'm not betting $1,000.
You're not that sure, then, are you?
I'm not betting $1,000.
Well, you ain't that sure.
I'll bet $50.
I'll bet you 100.
I bet you.
Look, with these
you gotta do the
$100
show nips out, nips free.
I will do the show nips out right now. I don't
You
really
won't.
care.
Okay.
Take your shirt off.
He's about to.
Oh my God.
That's what I thought.
Oh
Yeah, what is that tattoo, bro?
Oh, so I'm sorry.
There's two.
fucked up.
There's.
That was a brown.
I'm gonna explain why he won't get that. I mean, he's gonna get carries. There's,
$100, Ken.
okay, $100. There's two.
Stop making these bets.
There's too many mouths to feed. Ben Roethlisberger's last year, he is not turning around and handing the ball off to a rookie running back. He is slinging that rock. He's got too much to prove. People have been up his ass. Claypool, Deontay Johnson,
He's gonna finish
Juju.
with 298.
What was the highest amount of targets that Love Bell had in his prime?
It wasn't that many. Well, you mean targets?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably
Because I'm saying in his prime, it
probably
seemed like he
90.
was getting dumped
Probably
down.
90.
Damn.
It's probably 90 or 100. He had 80-some receptions the one year.
I got you.
Which is over 100 targets, I would imagine.
But it wasn't his rookie year.
106 in 2017, 94 in 2016,
Which is okay,
105 in 2014,
So go catches.
85 in 17, 75 in 16, 83 in 14.
So 85 was Love Bell.
He had 854 receiving yards in
So
2014.
85 is the max Lev Bell prime. Ben Roethlisberger, still younger,
So
dumping
what-
down.
Why are we comparing it
insane.
though?
No, where I'm getting at is if he does in that offense Lev Bell prime numbers with Ben Roethlisberger, that's still 215 carries.
Listen.
You're saying that you don't even know if he's barely getting over that carries.
I'm saying total different offensive coordinators. We have a brand new offensive coordinator. There's a lot of variables. You
I
can't
like my
compare
bet.
Lev Bell.
I love my bet.
Go ahead. What are you saying?
I love my
I
bet.
don't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying with that's a Ben Roethlisberger offense. No matter what, that's a Ben Roethlisberger offense. If he gets Ben Roethlisberger prime receiving back next to him, he still is to get 300 touches in his bet. That's still 215 carries, and you're saying he's not going to get much more than that.
Yeah, I'm saying
So this
it's
bet
about
is
240.
stupid to me.
Listen, Le'Veon Bell had 321 rushing attempts in 2017. 261 in 16, 290 in 14.
After hearing those numbers, this bet is you're just might as well hand the $100 over now.
Wait, me?
Yeah,
How?
he's saying
That is Le'Veon Bell in his prime. We're talking about rookie Najee Harris.
Okay.
I'm just, and it's a total different offense.
You want to talk rookie Le'Veon Bell?
I'm saying player with
Yeah, rookie Le'Veon Bell, fat Le'Veon Bell.
What are his measurables? Because I don't think they're anywhere close to Najee Harris.
Rookie
Yeah, they
Le'Veon
are.
Bell had 310 touches.
okay, and that was with a Ben that could do stuff.
Okay.
I don't think it's unattainable. I just don't see it.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell was actually bigger than Najee when he came
Really?
in the
That
league.
surprises
He
me.
lost 20 pounds after his rookie season.
In 17
fat
in
Le'Veon
17 games. No, I'm not doing that math. That's too. That's
I didn't consider that. It's something to think about. It doesn't. I don't think it changes the outcome, but it'll be close.
that's only 18 touches a game.
That's a lot
That's
for a rookie.
That's a lot.
If he comes anywhere near that 300 touch mark, do you think 20 is too low for him?
Probably. I mean, I just don't. I'm not sold on the offensive line. I'm not sold. There's a lot of things I'm not sold on. I'm not sold on
Ben's the
Ben.
biggest question
Yeah,
mark
I'm not sold on
Yep.
Ben. I'm not sold on the offensive line. They
I have
have,
Najee at 22.
they have three receivers that need the ball. I mean, they had 100 targets. They had three guys that had almost 100 targets. Ben threw 590 times last year, 600 times. I don't know.
You don't think any of the 15 running backs behind him take anything from him?
Not now. No.
The only
think
one
he's
I
too
haven't seen
dynamic.
anything from is Anthony McFarland. I find it hard to believe that they won't try to work him in at least a little bit more than they did last year.
He'll be a third down back if they work him in. He's not going to.
That'll just be them moving Benny Snell out of
The rotation, yeah.
For some reason, Tomlin absolutely loves Benny Snell. So
Boy, Snelly.
He's had him and Jalen Samuel both have had so many opportunities to prove what they can do, and they just shit the sheets every time.
Jalen Samuels reached his
not running
maximum.
back, yeah.
He's kind of
I didn't know he was
do
still
everything. Yeah, he's going to be out this year, but Benny Snell's still going to get a lot of goal line carries. Tomlin loves that dude. For whatever reason, 4th and 1, Benny Snell's coming in, and I hate it, but that's just the way it is.
That could change for sure.
I don't think it will.
That's a good way to close out the 20, Najee Harris.
All right.
On to 22.
We're
Out
drinking now.
Excuse me?
We're drinking now.
Oh, shit.
Come on.
I see what you did there.
Thanks, Bob.
It's good, man. You could smoke cigarettes.
We on 21 or 22?
21.
21. Kareem Hunt.
Okay. I have him at 20.
23.
I have it 22.
I again want to say, if we could do this again, mine would be very different. I have him at 19.
He would be lower for you or higher?
He'd be lower. There's a lot of people down here that I think should be higher.
Okay.
Explain.
Yeah, explain.
For example, would you rather have Kareem Hunt or Myles Gaskin?
I would rather have Kareem Hunt.
I'd rather have Myles Gaskin, and it's not even close.
I'd rather have Myles Gaskin.
Would you rather have Kareem Hunt or Chris Carson?
Chris Carson.
Yeah.
Chris Carson, and it's not even close for me.
Yeah, and I have Carson one spot lower than Hunt.
Yeah, and I have both of those guys under Kareem Hunt, which is why I brought both of them up.
And I don't.
Yeah, I have Chris Carson way higher.
I go Hunt, Carson, Gaskin.
I don't. Kareem Hunt, he's a true PPR. He's not your normal handcuff. He's a closer. He closes games out a lot.
It's just tough to know what a full season of healthy Nick Chubb looks like for Kareem Hunt.
That's why I have Nick Chubb as low as I do, is because they go away from Nick Chubb. So
Super fast.
7
Yeah.
is low?
yeah, I'd have Nick Chubb in top 4 or 3 if Kareem Hunt didn't exist.
Without Kareem Hunt, he's top 3.
You and I both had him at 7.
I wanted to put him higher than 7, but
I
I
had Chubb at
couldn't.
9.
I just couldn't put him up any higher because of Kareem Hunt. He's the reason why Chubb isn't a receiving really threat. I mean, that's how I look at it. But
He's just a runner, man. This isn't Nick Chubb, so we'll say this. I'll say this and move on, but he's got to be the closest thing in the NFL to Derrick Henry.
who's that?
Nick Chubb.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were saying Kareem Hunt.
Oh, hell no.
If Kareem Hunt was a starter anywhere else, he'd be in a top 10.
Facts.
Yep. He'd be a top 10 running back.
Didn't he finish the RB10?
Possibly.
What, when he was in Kansas City?
No,
No,
last
this year. Nick Chubb finished RB10. Kareem Hunt was 11.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying, if Kareem Hunt had his own gig where he was the starter and a 3-down back, he would be way up our list.
Oh, yeah.
This is a fair spot for him.
I think so.
I don't disagree with this.
I don't hate on him. He's a good player.
22, we got Chris Carson.
Yeah. I have him at 17.
Don't think anything of it.
I have him at 17.
Carson, for me, I have him at 23, but he's going to be one of those sleeper picks you can get super late in redrafts, and his opportunity is just, it's so high this year if he stays healthy. Rashad Penny's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. DJ Dallas isn't a huge factor. He'll take maybe 40 to 60 carries, and that's nothing for what Carson could get.
You said he was 22 on our collective.
Yes.
Yeah, I had him at 23 as well.
I think the elephant in the room is he can't stay on the field.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
It's a product of how he plays, though. Very
absolutely.
much so.
He's a, what do you call him, a baby Lynch? I mean, that's kind of how he plays. He's just not as durable.
I wouldn't disagree.
It was a style-wise.
As hard as Lynch ran, he stayed pretty healthy.
So I think he could be a top 12 back if he stayed healthy in that offense. But I don't know if this smoke screen is we're going to run the ball more to take pressure. I don't know if it's a smoke screen. Well, last year, I think at the beginning of the year, he had like 5 receiving touchdowns right off the get.
I think they'd be dumb not to let Russ keep cooking.
No, I agree, but that's why I think that
Let Russ cook.
I think Pete saying we got to run the ball 20 more times a game could be a little bit of a smoke screen.
Oh, for sure.
So, but yeah, I hope Chris Carson goes off. I enjoy watching Chris Carson play run the ball.
I enjoy a good Carson.
It's Johnny Carson's nephew, too.
Yes.
23
nephew.
is going to be another guy that I think I should have way higher, Mike Davis.
Ooh, Mikey Dave.
I had him at 26.
I have him at 25. I had him just outside RB2.
I had him at 21.
His opportunity, given what he did coming in for McCaffrey last year, is nuts.
Yeah, he's an older player, 29 or 30. I think. I don't know if
He's
he.
not 30 yet.
I don't know. I don't know if he turns 30 in the year.
I think he's
or-
28.
Is he 28?
Stat man.
That's a man. I guess he paid his dues, but he got cut from the Bears. Then he went to the Panthers.
This
got
is
his
just
opportunity.
the only time I'll mention these two words in this show. He had 165 carries last year, and the Falcons have 239 vacated carries at the running back spot.
Yeah.
So they got rid of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's every carry.
Every-
I think Atlanta and Mike Davis is one of the most mentionable. He gets the biggest plus because of the moves that they
Where
made.
is he getting drafted in redraft drafts?
Very late.
Very, very late.
Very?
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
You can probably get him probably 6th.
I'd say later.
Yeah, I think later than that.
It's probably 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there.
I was thinking 6 too.
Here, let me look on underdog.
Because you gotta understand, it's early in the year. Once real mock draft season starts, come July and August, he's gonna be up there.
Hey, I'm on the clock.
Who's available? Let's talk.
He's gonna be higher in
Mike
rankings.
Davis available?
Whenever the thing that's going to change the ADPs is whenever training camp finishes up, it's closer to preseason, and guys can project out given the running back
And
depth chart.
By then, we'll know if Atlanta has signed another running back. You know, we'll know if they're just going to roll with Mike Davis and Javion Hawkins and Edo Smith.
Can we put a trademark on the backfield nickname that we came up with? Mike Davis and Javion Hawkins. It's Mike Hawk.
Mike Davis on here. I don't know how Underdog does it, but they have it 48.1 as the ADP, so it was at
Fourth round.
Yep.
I told you.
I think I don't think Javian Hawkins comes out as
He's nothing.
an RB2 product right away. I think Cordero Patterson is going to take a lot of the touches at the RB2 spot.
I think so too.
Well, Javian Hawkins. I'm sorry, I was looking at this.
Mike Hawk. It's funny. I don't care who you are. That's just funny.
No, Ben's saying that Hawkins isn't going to be the RB2 on that team. It'll more than likely be Cordell Patterson.
Off the rip, at least.
Corduroy Patterson.
Corduroy. Wait, you don't
What
agree?
pick-
I don't agree.
What pick are you on the clock right now? Talk about it.
I only got 3 hours left to pick. I must have been sleeping when it was my turn. My team right now. Let me find it. I got Kamara on the first pick, DeAndre Swift the second pick, DK Metcalf the third pick, Josh Jacobs, Deontay Johnson,
Ooh.
and now I'm on the clock.
And who's available? Who's the?
Give me some
I'm
receivers.
probably gonna do a
BPZA?
receiver.
Who's the BPZA?
Let me see here. So wide receiver, I might get Pitts. Pitts is still available.
You going to read them receivers? Or?
Ayuk is the highest one. Then Shark, Anderson, Fuller, Tebow, Juju, Tyler Boyd, Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Curtis Samuel, Mike
Wait
Gallup.
12 picks. Wait 12 picks.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd take Pitts.
I think I'm going to take Pitts.
You don't have a quarterback yet?
No. The top 4 quarterbacks are already gone,
Yeah.
so I'm going to wait.
So where you at, Ben?
24 is the last one.
We can start picking up the pace with some of these guys. 24, or picking up the pace. This is the last one. I'm
Yep.
retarded. 24, we got Myles Gaskin.
You guys thought I'd be the one saying that word all the time. Myles Gaskin. I have Myles Gaskin at 27.
See, I went 12 for 12 on RB1s, and he just ruined my 12 for 12 on RB2s. It was so close.
I have Gaskin at 24.
I have him at 26.
I have him at 21,
What?
and I think he should be higher.
Ooh. I don't like that take.
You don't like Tua, right?
No.
You don't think the running backs get more work as a product?
I think Malcolm Brown gets more work as a product.
Ooh, that's... So then you're contradicting what you said about James Robinson. Myles Gaskin more than proved that he can be a PPR and running back threat in the NFL.
I agree. I don't think he holds up, though. That's my person. I think they have to take touches away from him to save him.
That's why they have Salvin Ahmed.
Yeah, he's the same guy. He's the
Yeah,
exact
they're literally
same guy.
the same player.
So
That's why
I
they
think
have Salvin Ahmed.
I think Malcolm Brown definitely steals all the goal line carries. Definitely steals those. So I think that's why I dropped him. He's probably in my top 24 if Malcolm Brown doesn't go there. I think he steals a lot of goal line carries. I think it's gonna. But he could. I don't disagree though. He's a PPR.
Miles Gaskin or Travis
Machine.
Etienne?
Miles Gaskin.
Myles Gaskin.
Miles Gaskin.
Miles Gaskin or James Robinson?
Myles
I
Gaskin.
had James Robinson as my RB24, so.
I mean, I have to take James Robinson. I ranked higher than Gaskin.
Gaskin or Hunt?
Hunt.
You just said Gaskin, and it's not even close. Oh, okay, it's a joke. I was about to fist fight.
Anybody else got anything on Gaskin? I just think he's just not the biggest guy in the world. I don't know that he's an every down
Story
back.
of my life.
You know the same size. You know who the same size is as Miles Gaskin?
J.K. Dobbins.
Christian Kirk.
Michael Carter.
Bro, did you see the picture I sent about Michael Carter? He's
Yes.
listed at 5'10", 200.
5'8",
And then the notes say 5'8", 190. What?
5'8",
Which one is he
199
actually?
the one.
He's small.
5'8",
Everyone
199.
is smaller than what Sleeper says. Sleeper would be sleeping on them shits.
So that closes out RB2s.
Oh, we gotta talk. We doing a touch.
So RB3, do you go ahead and just read the RB3 list that you have 25 to 36? and we'll see if there's some names that pop out there.
25 and down. James Robinson, Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, Raheem Mostert, Michael Carter at 30, Ronald Jones, James Conner, Phillip Lindsay, Leonard Fournette, Chase Edmonds, and Kenyon Drake to close it out at 36.
Okay, the first name that jumped out at me when you were reading those is Melvin Gordon. So,
As good or bad?
well, where's everybody have him? I probably have him higher than everybody else is what I'm
I have
guessing.
Melvin Gordon at 29.
I'm at 27.
I have him at 22.
And for what it's worth, I have Javonte Williams at 36.
What was the question?
Melvin Gordon. He read what he did is he read the 25 to 36. I said read it off, and then we'll discuss a couple of the names real quick that are on that list.
I got Gordon at 27.
Yeah, I definitely had him the highest.
I had Javonte right below him.
You had Mostert as an RB2, and I didn't even rank that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had him at 23 because he's still a starter at San Francisco. I mean,
I had him at 30.
He's not my top 36.
I have Mostert at 28. I think it's going to be the Mostert and Gallman show this year.
yeah. Well, with Wilson tearing his,
Explains why they picked up Gallman.
yeah. I mean, he's got to have surgeries out for the first 6 weeks. So, Jeff Wilson Jr.
Do you think Javonte takes over for Melvin Gordon at some point during the year?
Yes.
No, that's why I have him at 36.
9 weeks? 10 weeks?
I think the word takeover. I think it's going to be pretty even.
You're talking
I think
about the
it's gonna
guy
be
they
50-50.
let come in and take over for Phillip Lindsay, who that organization in that city loved. They're not just going to let that guy just go to a rookie.
I watched a video of, I think Ray GQ posted it actually, of just like the Broncos scouts talking about Javonte Williams, and the one scout comped him to Zeke.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
But
But
they traded up for him.
I still think it's going to be a 50-50 share because Melvin Gordon's out of there after this year. So I think it's still going to be a 50-50 share.
That's the primary reason I don't think they rush Javonte Williams onto the field.
Well, they're also not going to be winning. So
Yeah, I think it's going to start like a 60-40, 70-30.
They have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think now what I'm seeing,
that'll be
right,
worse for
that we could say that for
Williams.
news. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to end up going back.
To the Packers?
Mhm.
I don't.
I do.
I saw a picture of him and Shailene Woodley's his fiance.
Mm-hmm.
They were camping or something, or in the wilderness, and the comments said something about, "Isn't it fun when you see dads hanging out with their kids?"
Oh, shit.
Oof.
I would put money on the fact that Aaron Rodgers won't be a Packer starts this season.
Okay. I mean, it's still a coin toss, but
How much
I
longer?
feel like,
He just signed a contract, didn't he?
yeah, he wants an extension and more money, and he's going to get it from somebody. But
June 1st, June 2nd.
Who's got
So
more pros?
the last name
Nixon.
that I'll has who?
Rodgers.
The last person I want to bring up is the Chase Edmonds James Conner backfield.
That was the most boring combo you could have just brought out.
You're the most boring.
I have a
This
hot
is a
take
fact.
regarding them.
Ooh, say it.
Say it.
I think Chase Edmonds will be the primary running back this year. James Conner will be the third down back, the receiving threat, and the goal
so
line
you're
work.
pivoting
Pivoting from what?
because you originally said James Conner would go in and
He
be
said
the
James
starter.
Conner would take. Yeah, you did say
Yeah.
you would take the Kenyon Drake role.
I just like the fit. I mean, he's a better version of Kenyon Drake.
I was
But
ready
the
for that
the
take.
more
Say it. Do it.
It's not a hot take to me.
the more that I
I
look
hope-
at what Chase Edmonds was able to do and what he's done with this team and what they say about him, I think he'll be the one.
What's can someone look and see what his average yards carry
Statman.
Chase Edmonds per carry is? Because it's not very good.
2.7. It's a
not very
super
good.
fast 40.
4.62.
That's his yards per carry.
Yes. And it was actually 5.05 in 2019.
So
That boy good.
what is? Because there was a game where Drake was hurt and he averaged like 2 yards a carry.
Yeah, he had 25 carries for like 60 yards.
Yeah.
This is one
So-
game, though.
I think James Conner is going to be the first and second down back a lot.
Yeah, it was 25 carries for 70 yards, and it was against Miami.
Yeah. I think he's going to still 25 carries.
What Gaskin have that game?
Anyway, I think James Conner is still going to be the first and second down back a lot.
If he
I
stays
don't-
healthy.
Yeah,
He won't.
maybe
I think he could.
maybe the hot weather make his body feel better.
He didn't play.
Damian Harris was a guy. That was the other guy I was going to bring up real quick. I mean, what do we think Damian Harris is going to do for the Patriots?
I also didn't have him ranked.
Neither did I.
I did.
I had him at 31.
I don't think I had a single
or 30.
Patriot ranked.
Oh no, I didn't.
I mean, what? I mean, is he going to hold that job down, or is Stevenson going to come steamrolling?
Are we in agreement that come June 1st, Sony Michel is getting
I think so. June 2nd, he'll
Getting
be
whacked.
jettisoned.
He could be involved in a trade to one or for one
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
that's
That would take Mike Edwards, or Mike Edwards. I keep calling him
Brian
Mike
Edwards.
Yeah, Mike Davis's stock down.
A little bit.
I'm sorry. You whack Sony Michel from the running back depth chart. You still got James White, Rex Burkhead. Ramondre Stevenson.
Was balling last year before he got hurt.
I mean, you still got 4 running
I
backs.
still think he wins the job, though. I still think Damian Harris wins the job.
I think he could.
I agree
It's
that
his
he's
to
the
lose.
primary back, and then
But-
James White's still the PPR guy.
Sony Michel was the man a few years ago, coming off that rookie season, and those running backs that they have in that backfield have never went anywhere.
I don't know that he was the man.
He's
He had a
terrible.
good playoff game, and he was hyped up going into year 2, and
I think
Fell on his face.
then he realized is like, I'm faster than him.
he did not look good at all.
You know, he was drafted above Nick Chubb.
This is a fact.
Because he was supposed to be more dynamic.
I still can't get over the fact that the Browns pick right there was supposed to be Rashad Penny. That's crazy.
All right, guys. So we're going to
Thank
wrap
you.
this up.
Thank you, Seattle.
Couple things. Still want to people
Not doing
to
the top 5?
No,
That's a
we don't
Saturday
ever do
thing,
it on.
dog.
I was juiced, bro.
We never do it on
Come on.
ranking
Oh.
show. So now that Bo
You didn't
brought
know
that
either.
up,
We were talking about it when we walked in.
No, yeah, I was saying we'll talk about it for Saturday.
it looks like our world famous top 5 is going to be video game characters.
No, this week is the movie cameo.
Oh, that's right, movie cameo.
we
I'm
can
sorry.
do that today.
What, the movie cameo? Everybody has theirs.
Oh.
I bet. I knew the answer to that. Okay, so we're going to do the athlete movie cameos this Saturday, and then it'll be video game characters this Saturday after.
Thank God, because I will not be here.
Thank God.
Yeah,
It's
Pac-Man.
true.
Pac-Man.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, was Adam Sandler in a video game?
Pixels.
The lottery drafts. We want teams for lottery draft. Let's get something going on that. Social media, the Casuals FFP, Twitter, Instagram. Email us, casualsffp@gmail.com. We want your questions.
We officially submitted for the Fantasy Black Book, so Rich is going to talk to his buddy.
Yeah, I got to message him, make sure that he got it and everything.
So,
I hope so.
yeah,
Here, take the money and
I'm a
run.
bill down, bro.
But anyway, we'll get that stuff and 12-team leagues, and if you have a family league, a company league, hit us up. We'll do a lottery draft for you. We'll run it and get you going. And as always, thanks for listening and becoming casually.
See you.
You're
Shut off. Perfect timing.
You had your sauce nips out, bro.
I did.
Drink coasters are out.
Drink Coastal Nipples. That's my name.
Ooh.
That's my name, and Nipples the game.